valve cover. Ready to install our valve cover. Alright, we're back next day on this 62, maybe I said it was 63, 64, found out, got the title. It's a 62 Ford Falcon, and like you saw yesterday, we got the transmission changed out and it shifts smoothly. I just spent this morning cleaning it, pressure washing some of it out, cut some pressure washing clips, and now we're back. So I want to address some of the stuff under the hood. It actually is pretty well sorted, not gonna lie. It has some new starter relay, some new radiator hoses. The oil filter looks new, but we're gonna change it out anyways. But the first thing I wanna fix, and it's probably the biggest issue, is going to be our, what do you call it? The accelerator pump. So it's just works out fuel anytime you hit the gas, and we don't want fuel spraying all over our engine. So I'm going to pull that off. I found a new one. I want to, new. Hopefully this is right. I've never seen a more, probably been returned 3 times, 4 times box. But I'm hoping this is the right one. We referenced the part number off of this because it's the original. And all we're going to do is pull out 4 screws and put this on. So we're going to get to that. And we have a couple other little things we're going to work on. So let's get accelerator pump on. All right, so I'm hoping I can get to this. I should probably just put it on the lift to lift it up, but we'll be fine. My only concern is trying to get to these bottom screws, which are not that tight at all. There's 4 screws for this pump. That might be just the issue. It's not tight. But we have the new one, so we're going to put it on. Shouldn't hurt it, but yeah, those. So far, that is the issue with this thing, is everything's been just somewhat tight, but we're not going to leave it that way. So if you're ever driving and you give it gas and it falls on its face for a second and then picks back up, it's your accelerator pump. That rag. I also, like I said, spent the time to clean this, just some of the grease and grime on it, make it look a little prettier for now. Also, I didn't need that anyways. I'm not rebuilding the whole carburetor. It sounds crazy, but it runs really good. So I don't want to ruin it by trying to rebuild it, mess with some of the settings. It starts up like, and idles great. It's just this part spews some fuel out. So we're gonna get that fixed. And where's my screwdriver go? Okay, so we had the little knob. I mean, it actually looks pretty good. I think it just wasn't tight. But you never know. Actually, I don't know. It looks fairly clean. So here's your the old one, but I don't see any damage. So it's kind of a good thing, but not a good thing, because I'm hoping it fixes the leak. Yeah, I'm just gonna put the new one on anyways. Put the spring so you have the nub. That is the correct way, yeah. So that nub, it pushes the lever on, so I might just hang on to this one. And I think I'd mentioned where it was leaking if you would have seen, but if not, it was just squirting down the bottom. You really couldn't even see it until you saw it started to pool up. So then the spring goes on the back side here. We're going to get a screw ready. Put the spring over its little holder. Line everything up. And I'm going to make sure I get a good tightening down on this. And since we have a new valve cover gasket, I'm going to be pulling the valve cover off, and I think then I'll be able to really get into these screws and really tighten them down and make sure it's sealed. So we're going to do that next. Kind of a one step to get to another step. Let's pull this cover off. And I didn't bring my drill impact, so I'm going to do it all by hand. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? 7 of them. There's one way back there. Oh, gives you a nice little handle there. Alrighty, it's off. Oh, there wasn't even a gasket on it. Or was there? Oh yeah, look at there. It has become one with the valve cover. So, oh wow, that is a crunchy one. So we're gonna have to work this off. Cool. As I do this, it should stop leaking. There we go. But we got it to stop leaking, right? Just gonna flood the engine now, just pumping it full of fuel. But I wanted to make sure before I put everything else back together. And shot. Okay, alrighty. This thing is definitely, there's your breather. There's no bueno in the sealing department. It's the lip. So usually you have this little tab and you can just kind of pull it off, but all these tabs are just breaking off. Ugh. How bad. How bad. This is well overdue for a change. No wonder it leaked. Oh man, that's off. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Okay. Come on. I'm just gonna grab a flathead and try to pry some of this off. A little chisel, actually. Let me see if I have that. All right. Let's see. That's overkill, but if it works, then it works. Try this time. God. It's like a trim removal tool. But yeah, if your gasket does this, yeah, there we go. Whew. Okay, it's good enough. Let's grab the gasket. His cork. And let's find out. I don't care. Perfect, just cut the gasket in half. No big deal. That should be right. Oh, good. That's the right one. Look at that. So, you just put those little things in those grooves and it keeps it in place. Cool. And we're ready to install our valve cover. Ready to install our valve cover. Probably because it's oily. Yep, there it almost went again. Okay, that should do it. Shiniest part. Okay, let's do some wires. Now that this stuff's toast. So this is the filter I picked up. We'll get to it in a second. Oh, it comes with pieces of hose and new clamps, which is cool. But it's like a 5/16, and it's just one of the metal ones. And you know, for My vehicles, I like the clear ones because I can see the fuel flow and know what's going on. But if you don't change them regularly, they do get brittle, they break, whatnot. So I did opt to find some of the metal ones. I don't know what it goes to, but if you're looking, part number, it's a Wix 33032 or FF3424DL. Anyways, they're the metal ones. They're obviously a lot more durable. You can't see if they're dirty or not. So you'd have to replace them just out of sheer hope that it needs to be replaced. But it's not going to break and fall apart on you if you don't replace it for a long time. I just figured that was kind of a better thing. And also these are $4. I think those metal ones, the plastic ones I pay like $5 for, and some of them don't even hold up that well. These metal ones, they're just durable. You could shove the hose on it and not worry about the nipples breaking. Then we've got new rotor. Oh, no, new points. The points in here look a little dirty. They could just be clean, but we're going to replace them. And then I'm not 100% if this is the right cap, but ooh, I love when they number them. So this cap's got the numbers on them. 153624. And a new rotor cap, a new spinning bobber. Made in the USA. These should last. This is all Napa. It actually feels a lot more durable than other ones I've used, to be honest. And looks like that one's numbered as well. So I'll be able to just go off of those. So I'm going to pop off. Let's see, how do we want to go about this? We'll pop this off. Set that to the side because we know our timings, right? And I'll show you why I'm replacing that cap in a minute. Pull our rotor. Make sure it's the same. Sure is. It is the same. So let's put that off to the side. I don't want to, well, it is numbered, so it really doesn't matter. Obviously it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's numbered. You really can't mess this up, I guess. Yeah, no, let's just, I usually don't. I usually like to pull these off one at a time and change them out, but I think this is pretty dummy proof. We say that and then I mess with it, but I know I did it wrong. So we're gonna get rid of this one and our coil thing. This is why I'm changing it. One, oh, that's just right from washing it. These are all grooved pretty bad. I mean, they're still making contact, but they were not the nicest looking. And as you see, everything's been painted blue. So we know these wires have been in there for a long time. That boot's ripped. So they're due for a change. Just obviously a flathead. I mean, not obviously. If you've never done this, you probably have no idea. But usually just two little flatheads. It looks like it was just set like that. I'll probably come back in here and adjust them, but it looks like they were really just flush. You know, like a 16 thou gap when it's pushed open. And it looks to me, oh, I should have got a condenser too. That wouldn't have hurt, huh? There. Pull those two off. Those two in there, that one in there. So, yeah, these aren't terrible. Oh no, they're getting nasty. They are. They need a good cleaning. The phenolic plastic thing is getting wore out. Okay, so there's these two wires, one for your condenser, and I think the other one is ground or something. I don't know. They're just hooked up. Here's to the one. They just slide over. And let's just tighten it up with the wrong tool for the job. If you just put it back how it went, you usually can get pretty lucky and don't have to reset your points. Cool. Now it's just basically reversing. So our rotor, new rotor, put our cap. I noticed the number 1 was down here, and oh, she's nice and tight. Nice. I was worried I wasn't gonna get the right rotor, but we did. Now let's get some plugs. Okay, now it's determining what is what. Let's see here. Is our coil wire. let's just start with that one. Okay, now it's all comparing lengths. I'm noticing there's a very short one, so that's definitely the number one. Parts falling everywhere. Okay, so that's definitely 6. Out of those two, there's 1 and 2. Let's just start with those. So 1 there. I was about to say, like, it is not going on as easy as it should, but it did. Okay, and there is number 2, number 3, and number 4. There's 5. Can't get easier than this. 6. I like the numbering a lot. Just dummy proof this whole thing because it makes sense. They're on. Those look great. That was easy. I want to start it up and see how she runs. So we'll open up the doors, make sure I did everything right. And if I did it, we'll find out real quick. And it doesn't start or runs like poop. All right, I got the door open so I don't suffocate and die. Let me see what it does. Neutral. So far good. There's a big exhaust leak on that end. We did fix this. That was a success on that part. I am going to bring them. Okay, I got to find my feeler gauges. Just double check the points are set properly because it ran the same, a little bit better, honestly. It definitely, the, what you would call it? I always forget, the accelerator pump. Freaking perfect, because then you get on it, it doesn't boom. You can snappy, it's actually pretty snappy now. But like I said, well, just those points, make sure those are good. Our valve cover is great. So we're going to wrap it up today. Next time I'm gonna try to get that belt on. And what else do we have in there? Oil change. And the fuel. So we're going to address that fuel issue, not issues, there's no issue. It's just we're going to redo it in a sense, reroute some of this fuel line. I ordered the new A-arms, so I'll see you tomorrow, whichever day I get a chance to, but I think it's definitely running nicer, and I'm excited that that's all replaced. Definitely just make it more reliable for now. Those are just your common wear items, and it looks a little prettier. And I'll get some Ford Blue. I might clean up some of this other stuff. So, thanks. See you tomorrow.